Good morning, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sandhya Gopalakrishnan. Today I'm going to talk to you about the topic Do not love yourself through others, but do love yourself for others. Yes, self love is our topic today. Love is one term that all of us relate to with a lot of joy, with a lot of happiness, with a lot of peace in us. We do relate to it in its different shades and different colors with so much of warmth, or irrespective of our color, creed, language, country, and all other barriers. Now, that being the case, in many times, many instances, we find that this feeling called love leaves the person experiencing it in a state of confusion, sometimes disappointment, frustration, agony, and very rarely even in a state of insanity. Now, why does that happen? When we contemplate all along life, we have been craving for love from different people at different stages. As kids, we've been looking out for love from our parents. As playmates, we've been looking out for love from our peers, our siblings. As teenagers, from the partners that we've had of the same gender, of the opposite gender. As we grow older, when we get married, we do look out for that same love from our life partner. But in all these instances, many a times we have only faced some setbacks, at times some denial of the love that we've been looking for, or even if the love that we have been looking for had been received, it has not been received in its full quantum. Now, why does this happen? Time and again, we've been giving so much of love and we've been expecting only love in return, not anything else. But why does this happen? Why does this bitter feeling rise? When we think deeply, we can only understand one fact, that is this love that we have been yearning for from all these people is only the self love that has been camouflagedly manifesting itself in all its different forms. We had loved our needs physically, emotionally, socially so much that our parents who met our needs were the most important people for us when we were kids. As we grew up and we wanted to play, we loved the company of the people who were playing with us. We could relate well to them with the colors, with the shapes, with the toys that we had. We could boast to them about what we had. We could make fun of them. We could jump together with them. All of these created a lot of happiness and love for ourselves, a feeling of good for our own selves. As teenagers, again, we had fallen in love with those people who have paid attention to us, who have got attracted to us, who had noticed those simple qualities that we feel proud about our own selves. Or we have also been turned on by people who have had the ideologies opposing to us, sometimes which had dawned upon us as an alarm. In some way or the other, they have been feeding the intellectual acumen of our own self, which has turned on those relationships for us. Or many a times, it's also the physical, sensual needs that had been latent in us, which has taken the toll of our romantic love and relationships. Even later in life, when we settle with a life partner in the form of a marriage, we do look forward to a person who's going to unscrupulously love us for what we are, ignoring, or rather not implicitly loving us for all the positives and negatives that we are bestowed with. But many a times in reality, we find that that is not the case with marriage, and people who have been married have been feeling even more wanting for love. Now, when we analyze all this, we could only make one conclusion, that this love for self could only completely fulfill itself outrightly if it is completely focused on self and not from all the other different sources that it's been craving for. Now, all these different people, as parents or siblings or friends or partners, all of these people are the outward sources from where we had been yearning for this love for our own selves. Now, it is time that we understand and awaken ourselves to the need for our own love from within. Now, what do we do best to love ourselves? First, we need to be aware of ourselves. What are the best gifts that we've been blessed with? Our physique, our mental attributes, our family, our education, our career, and all of this. Now, how many of us are happy about our physique? We still have many youngsters cribbing about their flappy bodies, cribbing about their asymmetrical features, and so on. Let us first understand that there are going to be millions and millions of people who are going to be less or better privileged than us when we take into account the physical attributes that we have been blessed with. Just to have a sound body and mind functioning is such a big asset and gift that we could adorn in this one lifetime that we have. Many people are slogging and struggling in their lives with even being denied these basic assets. So once we understand the value of the things that we possess, we start loving ourselves naturally. Let us be aware of this self gifts that we possess in order to first start the step of our self love. First, let us be aware. Second, we have to acknowledge ourselves of what is our complexion. We need to accept it, come into terms with it, approve of it. Yes, this is the complexion that I've been blessed with, and I know it is the most healthiest complexion that I could have. Maybe I'm going to be a little more um, deficient in some aspects if I'm going to be with a better complexion. So, having understood that, always being optimistic about the attributes you have is the first step towards self love. Acknowledging it and then approving of it, the next step being grateful for it. So, whatever is the physical attribute that you've been blessed with, the family that you've been blessed with, the qualifications, the career, and the platforms that you've been blessed with, you need to approve of it, acknowledge it, and appreciate yourselves by being grateful for it. The next step comes into focusing your attention on your basic self asset, which is the mind, body, and soul. So, how do you do that? First, in taking care of your body, although there are many experts and there is the boom now of fitness uh, regimens and fitness um, workshops being held, still there are going to be many youngsters who are going to be just carried away by those size zero endorsements, those crash diet regimens, and those gym addiction, fitness endorsements, and all that. If that is going to be your way of life, it is not going to be healthy in the long run. So, it is very important that you pay attention to your physique in a more logical, slow paced, reasonable manner. You watch your diet. Do not deny yourselves of all those best delicacies that you could enjoy in this one life that you have. That craving will create its own um, shortcomings in different other spheres of your life. So it is always important to not deny yourselves of all the best delicacies that you can have just in the name of dieting. Do try out all those best foods that you can have in this one lifetime you have, but do watch what you eat and how much you eat and what is the pattern in which you eat if you have to take care of your physique. Secondly, exercise is such an important, mandatory, indispensable part. There are many people who say we do not have time for it, which is only a self excuse or it's a self prophecy. We would rather call it as a biased prophecy. All those big wizards and successful statesmen out there have had the time in their daily routine to cram their exercise schedule. When that is the case, of course, we common people who have our day to day chores not running 24 bar 7 could always cram our exercise regimen into the same. It is only the question of will. When we have the will, we could always cram that 15-minute, 30-minute walk, yoga, aerobics, or whichever one is comfortable for us. Very, very important. The next thing comes your mental hygiene. Please surround yourself with a lot of positive people around. Talk only positive things. Do discuss only ideologies, not about people. It is very important that you read a lot of positive books, self help books, because many a times books are the best friends for life. it is a experiential fact that all of us can relate to. If that habit of reading is recreated in us, we could always unveil so many facets of our intellectual abilities at different stages of our life. So it is very important you read a lot of positive books, read a lot of inspirational books, or whichever books rejuvenate that flair for living in you. It could be a novel, it could be a fiction, whichever one. So, but let it be more of optimism. And another important thing is to keep your mental hygiene intact, is to keep your brain active by doing a couple of brain exercises, trying to solve a couple of those puzzles. As you age, it is very, very important that you give some workout for your neurons. And that is taken care of very well by these puzzles. You solve those crossword puzzles, those Sudoku puzzles, do some mental exercises, some scramble, and then you do play some chess. All of this will take care of your mental fitness hygiene. You could always follow one hobby that refreshes and recreates yourself in such a lively manner. Always do not feel hesitant to start a hobby thinking it's late. It is much better to start late than never. So please start a hobby that will fulfill all your mental requirements. The third most important thing in self-love is that you have to take care of your soul. You are made of your body, mind, and soul. Now, how do you take care of this soul? This is the pivotal part of our talk. Now, having understood that this love that we've been craving for all along our lives is only our self love, how does this love get fully fulfilled in its complete quantum? It will happen only when we find out what is the calling for which we are here in this one lifetime. What is that best calling that we are here for? Some of us are very good orators, some of us are very good singers, dancers, some of us are very good counselors. Each one of us has that one particular talent that we excel in when compared to the others of our same age or group or any other strata that we belong to. Now, which is that one particular facet that we excel in? We need to identify that, nurture ourselves, our skill sets, our abilities, our talents in the same, and try to prove a niche in that. Now, that is not completely over with the food for the soul. Once you identify your extraordinary talent, you nurture it, you actualize your potential. Yes, you are that awakened soul. When do you become that awakened soul? Only when that accomplished or actualized potential is going to serve some fruit for the fellow beings around you. Only when that actualized potential is going to throw some light into the lives of those fellow beings around you who are going to taste that unique acts of love that you are going to shower upon them. Now, that is the only way you completely satisfy your thirst for self love in this lifetime. And that is the way that had been followed by all those big illuminaries like our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Mother Teresa, Swami Vivekananda, and many others. So, let me tell you that if you want to feel yourself completely loved and completely happy eternally, everlastingly, you need to only do one thing: love yourself. And how you need to love yourself is love yourself by preparing yourself, nurturing yourself, sustaining yourself in order to make your efforts bear fruit for the benefits of all those fellow beings around you. These are the ways in which you are showering that love that you had for yourself in different ways for all those people who are craving for the same love from you. And that is the only way you make a meaning for your life, you make your calling worthwhile, and you feel yourself self contained and fulfilled. I hope that this video will find you in good health and sound spirits to acknowledge this fact of self love for the love of the others. You need to love yourself for serving others, and only in service does this life become meaningful. And complete for you. Having said that, I would like to end the video thanking you all for your interest. Thank you.